Hey, it's yellow.
We're live. It's
Hi,
happened. Hey, everyone. My name is Fraser Cain. I am the publisher of Universe Today, and this is your virtual star party for
16th of February,
16th of February 2014. I apologize. I'm fried. My garage just flooded, and I've been spending the day sort of getting all the water back out. Yeah, my drain and my driveway flooded over, and water.
I didn't know. I mean, I know you like sailing, but I didn't realize you
yeah,
DIY sailor.
Yeah, exactly. Bring it right into my garage and float the boat right out my garage. That's the plan. So anyway, not bad. I was really lucky and sort of got it all under control. But yeah. So anyway, I've been working all afternoon. Anyway, enough about me. Let's talk about space. So who have we got joining us tonight? We got Dave Dickinson, a.k.a. the Astro Guy.
With a Z.
Thanks for not letting me go live with that.
Exactly.
Ready to do battle. You're ready.
We got Gary Gonella. Hey, Gary.
Hi, guys.
Hey, James McGee. Hey, James. Evil
Hello.
James McGee.
Yes. How is fighting crime in Canada, by the way, Fraser?
We got Mike Phillips. We got, or at least the computer simulation of Mike Phillips.
Yes, my camera stopped working, but everything else seems to be in order here.
Well,
so
all you have to do
lost in
is
the
you just have
stars.
to go on to YouTube, do a search for the Virtual Star Party, and you see this great video all about Michael and his wonderful telescope.
Yes, but you didn't come to see me, did you? Let's look at the stars.
Let's go to the stars. We got Mike Simmons from Astronomers Without Borders. Hey, Mike.
You're muted, Mike. There you go.
He's muted, Mike.
Frequently.
We got Roy Salisbury. Hello, Roy.
Hello.
We've got my co-host, Scott Lewis, with a brand new Twitter handle.
With a brand new Twitter handle. I am no longer Bald Astronomer. I've been toiling over that for a long time. It was a joke, like 2 years ago. I never thought I was going to be on Twitter all that much, but it's grown and I need to let it go. So I'm now Scientific Scott for all my science outreach efforts.
Perfect. Follow Scott on Twitter at Scientific Scott. Now, if they were already following Bald Astronomer, they'll have.
It's already switched. Scott. Yep, I just switched it over. So all my previous followers still there. I'm still following everyone else, but I'll take more. I talk a lot.
All right.
140 characters or less.
We got Shah Ahmad. Hey, Shah.
Hey.
In Malaysia. And how's your volcano doing?
Oh, my volcano? Oh, everything seems to be blowing away.
Wait, it's your volcano, Shah?
No, that's not mine.
No.
It seems to be okay. Seems to be okay now.
How far away is it from you?
The one in Sumatra was about, I think, about 200 kilometers away to the west of Peninsula Malaysia.
Wow.
So it's blowing away to the Indian Ocean at the moment.
So ash isn't coming your way?
No, not at the moment.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah.
We got Tom Nathe. Hey, Tom.
Howdy.
He's in soggy Portland, Oregon. Yeah. Yeah, and we've got soggy Vancouver Island. It's the
we got the monsoons coming in.
Yeah, it's the season for it. So, all right. Well, so before we get on with the space stuff, I just want to remind everyone that they can interact with us. It's allowed. We permit it. In fact, we encourage it, and we'll even take requests if we can. So the best way to do that, I've enabled the Q&A app on this Hangout, so you should see that anywhere you are. If you're on YouTube, you should just see it says Fraser Cain is interacting with the audience or something like that. So you can just go ahead and click on that, and then you can see all the questions that people have asked, and you can still see the video and and vote up questions and yeah.
And stuff and things.
And what?
And stuff and things.
And
Let's
stuff
see,
and
we're
things.
we're also on Twitter at @the_VSP. We have two event page, one on our official channel for virtual star parties and one on Fraser. So I'm trying to monitor all of those. And yeah, it is up on Facebook if you really don't like yourself.
If you really don't like yourself, it's on Facebook.
If you hate science,
If you
use
hate
Facebook.
science and kittens.
If
on
you hate
Facebook.
kittens,
Yeah.
you can go to Facebook.
If you hate intelligent conversations,
All right.
use Facebook.
And I might have created a GeoCities website for it. Just
Oh, good. Well, that's good. All right. All right, everyone, telescopes. All right, I'm going to start with Gary's view because it's awesome.
Okay.
That's my only criteria tonight.
We got the Horsehead here and the Flame Nebula, and this is Alnitek, which is the left-hand star in Orion's belt for positioning purposes.
Fantastic. That's it. That's all I got. Mike, come on. Have you got anything? Mike, the Horsehead Nebula, what is it? Oh, he's muted.
Uh-oh.
Oh, you talking to this mic?
Yeah.
Sorry, I was playing with things here.
The Horsehead Nebula knows no borders.
No, that's true. Is that what we're looking at with Gary?
That's what we're looking at right now with Gary's view.
Horsehead Nebula on the left there, that's I think it's called the Flame Nebula. There's just stuff all through this area. You know, look at the wide-angle images, especially in H-alpha, and you just see stuff. It's just spacey. There's a lot of H-alpha stuff in there, a lot of hydrogen.
Now, does anyone know if there's any connection between Analtech and the nebula itself? Like, did Analtech form from that nebula?
I don't think so.
I think Amotech is in front of it.
Yeah, I believe it's far in front of it.
Oh, okay.
From our perspective.
Yeah, and there's a star. Reason why it's backlit like that, there's a star in behind the Horsehead that's illuminating, much like a silhouette.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
The gas is actually fluorescing. It's a little more like a fluorescent light bulb. So that's what gets those colors there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Excellent.
Okay, so now we've got
that's
another treat tonight, and this is we are going to do a twofer tonight that we have wanted to do since we started the Virtual Star Party. We have, I think, one time we maybe did it, but we weren't sure, which was the Great Red Spot on Jupiter.
Oh, I thought you
literally
were talking about a supernova. Like we thought we did.
Yeah,
but that's the opposite way.
Yeah. So tonight we've got the Great Red Spot.
Yeah, it just transited about 10 minutes ago, according to Sky and Telescope. You can see it as on that thicker belt. It's like a pinkish notch there on the edge.
Now it's turning towards us, right?
It just turned towards us. Now it's turning away. And Jupiter rotates a little faster than 10 hours. So within about 2 hours, it's going to be over the limb and disappeared again by midnight here. Anyway, because it's almost 10 o'clock here. So
I'm gonna switch between David's view and James's view because there you can. Yeah, I think you can see it in James. It's like right in the middle to the right a bit there, right?
Yeah, to the
I
left
said right
of the red spots. You see a little dark spot. It almost looks like dust, but it's not. It's actually the moon transiting.
Yeah, there's.
You just ruined the surprise.
Oh, sorry. Surprises. Oh, just ruined it. That's what I'm here for.
You need a 7-second delay here for catching.
We can do that. I know how to do that.
FCC.
Yeah. Okay, fine. So the second thing then is that we're getting a transiting Europa right now. So in other words, Europa is passing in front of Jupiter. And you can really see it in James's view. So it's over on the left there. You can see that kind of dark spot that's blobbing around in front of Jupiter. And I'll sort of switch between James's view and David's view here, and you should be able to see it.
When I got moments of good seeing, I can see it just coming in. There's a little black dot. And it's moved since we started the show, too. I can tell it's moved.
Yeah. So it's going to move. It'll get, what, about half across?
It'll probably be almost halfway across the
planet. About halfway across the planet over the course of the show. So we'll sort of keep checking back as we go. Now, tonight's not going to be super great. How's the moon for you guys tonight?
I can name it the moon here in about a few minutes. It's about 20 degrees above the horizon here from Florida.
Yeah, I mean it's like pretty full, right?
It's waning gibbous, just 2 days past full.
Yeah. So I think we can classify that as a stupid moon.
That's the scientific.
I'll start singing again.
It's called a Facebook moon.
Yeah. I think anything above half full is I've decided is a stupid moon.
It starts interfering. Yeah.
There's good stuff in that phase. There's actually good stuff. It gets out towards the limb. It's kind of foreshortened, but people don't look at it as much. There's some surprises out there.
They know it's stupid. That's why.
So the great red spot there, you should let people know if they have a little scope, they could see that too. There are years when it sort of disappeared. It just went away for years at a time, but it's back now, and it's easy to see in a small scope.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was much more red, people will say, about 30 or 40 years ago than it is.
Yeah.
It's kind of a pinkish salmon color now.
Yeah,
So we got a question here from Jason Carlisle. Are all these images live telescope feeds, and what telescopes are used? So yes, they are live telescope feeds. Now you can see with Jupiter, the Jupiters and the Sun, which I'll show in a second, how you can see the atmospheric turbulence. So these are absolutely live views of these objects. I can totally see Europa now.
Yeah.
But the other ones are live in that they have to take like about a minute or 2 minute exposure, and then they're posting the picture live. So what you're seeing is 2 minutes of light and then posted live.
Yeah. Near real time.
And then I think that thing over on the right-hand side is just is dust on his lens. So.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna move so no one confuses it with the.
The transit doesn't look that good. Awesome. Okay, I'm gonna move over to Shaw's view. Look at that.
Yep.
That's just awesome.
Yeah.
The ER 1974, I think. Yeah, the great flock of birds. I call it a flock of birds when it crosses the sun for the past week. It looks like pretty much like a flock of birds flying across.
Is that
and it turns out to be quite
bird?
nice.
The Flappy Bird.
The Flappy Bird.
And it's going to be gone as soon as we see it for a couple of weeks, and it's going to be gone away.
Yeah. Now, is it rotating off the sun's limb, or is it coming on the limb?
Yeah, it's going off. It's on the west side of the limb. So it's basically going to be gone in a few days' time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I can't remember on sunspots. Some of the pictures, it looks like the sunspot is actually indented into the photosphere. Is that actual, or is that just an optical illusion? Even though I know the sunspot is cooler than the surrounding area.
Yeah, there's sometimes a little bit lower depth as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I think that's a minor effect, probably more optical illusion.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess because it looks like there's like lines, and I can see like in the penumbra, it looks like it's a shallower thing.
Mm-hmm.
Be Cool says, is it possible to see some of the moons of Jupiter with 15 by 70 binoculars?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Totally. Yeah. So if you think that's what you're seeing,
even 10x50s will work.
Yeah.
Think about what Galileo had. I mean, those 15 by 70s are way better than that.
Yeah.
And you got two of them.
It does help if the binoculars are supported somehow, other than you holding them. If you have them on a
I
tripod
use my
or something
hands
like
to
that.
support them. And
Right.
But I'm just being a smart aleck. But yeah, like I got a tripod right here, and that's what I typically mount my binoculars up. I put them on a tripod, hold them there, and that tends to help.
Yeah.
If you don't have that, if you got a fence or something you can put your elbows on, at least make a triangle.
Someone shorter than you. Just,
absolutely.
Yeah.
A bald astronomer or something like that.
I'm 6 foot, so good luck.
Oh. Bill Chamberlain can do it.
Geez, Scott, I didn't know they piled it that high.
Oh, they do. Higher and deeper.
Look at this. This is just cool. Just all these sunspots across the sun right now. It's really active right now.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Yeah, there was a whole chain right across the equator of the sun a few days ago. It was kind of cool.
Yeah. I'll probably change to a lower magnification after this to see the chain of sunspots.
Oh, that would be great. Thank you.
Yeah.
You see,
Really great.
How's it going there, Roy? Are you
I am
battling
trying
technology?
Yes, I'm battling bad skies.
Oh no! And Mike, what are you trying to bring up, Mike Phillips?
So I am hunting this near-Earth asteroid, and I think I'm in the right neighborhood, but I'm not sure. So it's moving fast enough that I got to compare the times from some earlier images to some later images here before I can pull it out.
So if we're lucky, we will see a near-Earth
yes.
asteroid tonight.
Is that a 2006 DP-14 you were talking about?
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
one, and it had its closest approach, I think, 3 or 4 days ago, but it's
Yeah.
still moving fast enough that I think we can detect it in at least 2 images a few seconds
That
apart.
got me to do some research on that. It should be about 15th magnitude tonight.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was
Some of
curious.
these.
Wow.
Because when I first saw your message, I thought, "Ooh, did they discover something today?" So I started, and then I saw the 2006 date. It was like, no,
Yeah,
that
no,
one's old.
it's old. It's old. I think they were still requesting observations on it, so I don't know if they've pinned it down properly or not here because it doesn't appear in the timestamp to be in the right spot. I'm not sure.
I
So
think
this,
it looked like it passed 4 or 5 lunar distances from us. It's a ways.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
gonna
and
move
it's
to-
fading.
To Gary. Okay, well, you let us know, because I won't know when
I
you
will.
found what you're trying to find. So.
Yes,
All right.
I'll Yelp or something.
Okay, I think I got something. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I've gone to Gary's view because it's the rosette, and I love the rosette.
You do love the
Oh,
rosette.
yeah.
It's funny. A friend was asking me like, "What's your favorite object in the night sky? What's your favorite nebula?" And I'm like, "Let me just show you this video."
Yeah,
that Google
funny you
made.
should ask that.
It's funny-
Google made this video about
Yeah.
my favorite object.
Fraser always loves the rosette, so we always go to that when it's in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and it's appropriate. It's just past Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Aw.
Oh,
Gary's sending some Fraser love to the cosmos.
there we go.
Look at all those dark kind of trails, like worm-eaten trails in the
All this
yeah.
stuff in here is just gorgeous. Now,
worms
since
have
we haven't
eaten the rose.
since we haven't talked about it in a while, so everybody knows, I'm shooting in a fairly light polluted LA area.
Yes, you are.
Very narrow band filters. The red that you're seeing in this picture is hydrogen alpha. The green is sulfur, and the blue is oxygen. And you can see it's predominantly hydrogen alpha. But you can see down in here there's a little bit of shade in color where there's some other hydrogen or oxygen or sulfur coming into view.
Right. Now, I forget, the rosette is part of a supernova explosion, or is it just a collapsing nebula and it's got a bubble in the middle?
I don't know.
I know.
Somebody must know.
Mr. Rosette knows.
So I'm actually just pulling up some
Wikipedia
information on it right now. It's an H2 region.
I'll fall on a sword if you want to research it. First, I found it.
Fall on a sword. Please fall on a sword.
Here you go. Okay, here you go. So, and I think it's moved a little bit.
Oh,
so I'm going to use this as a marker here.
Jim Meeker is suggesting that you start an Angel Fire VSP website.
I might be able to do that. Yeah.
I like GeoCities.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, we could do one on the well.
We could.
So,
But yeah,
Really
we
need yourself.
would need the Doodah Man to help us out with that.
there you go. Okay, so I found this. If you want to see it, you want
Sure.
to change over to me. Okay, so I use this little box here as top left corner is marking about where it is, so that if you follow the mouse, it's here in this image, and watch it jump. It kind of jumps almost right off the edge of that box there. So there it is, a blink comparison, and these images were taken, let's see, 9:15 and 9:22, I think.
Hey, cool.
That's
Yeah.
cool. It's pretty faint. So yeah, it's
Yeah.
fainter than Pluto is. So
Yeah.
yep, I do see it.
That's cool.
Those are
What's the
I think those are.
So that is another first. It's the first time we have seen a near-Earth asteroid in a live VSP.
And it's fitting kind of for me because I think it was 2 years ago before we really started getting regular with this that Eros came by and Pamela jumped on and did a brief hangout that I think was lost in the YouTubes somehow. And I kind of caught the bug then. So
Yeah.
been hunting these things ever since now.
I think this one is 27 meters, if I recall, when I looked at it.
Wow.
Wow.
That is,
Yeah.
Whoa, that's tiny.
yeah, it's real
Yeah.
tiny.
This is how far it's moved. I mean, it's farther away now than it was before. And this is how far it's moved in about like 10 or 15 minutes. If
I
the
do
math
remember
right.
when I was looking at the close approach data on it that this is the closest approach for this century for this asteroid.
Yeah.
Really?
So
Oh, that's
That
really
thing-
cool.
that thing
That's
is
good.
zipping.
That's a good thing.
and it's still a couple lunar distances away. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
But
like,
still,
when did it make its closest approach then?
I think it was a couple days ago.
During Snowmageddon.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't think it got
that's why
brighter
it
than
snowed so
13th
much. Is all that
magnitude,
debris
Yeah.
coming off of the asteroid.
The ones that really grab my attention is when they pass closer than the moon, then I start getting excited.
Yeah, those are scary.
Orlando asked for NGC 2169. Ooh. Is that up? Could someone figure that out?
I could figure out.
All right. I'm going to move to Shaw's view again because he's zoomed out. Look at that. Yeah, tons of these sunspots.
All right. So I think I can get all the 3 groups of sunspots in one view, I think. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool. Starting to look like
This is
solar
great.
maximum again.
It's daytime for Shaw, and it's nighttime for the rest of the astronomers. And, yeah, I mean, you're a nighttime astronomer too, Shaw, aren't you?
Yeah.
We've only known you as a daytime astronomer.
Yeah, you hunt planets in the daytime.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Shaw's a reverse vampire. He only comes out during the day.
Just to fit in, he does all his planetary observing in the daytime.
So yeah,
I'll probably try to
2169
get.
is up.
Yeah. I try to get Venus, but it's way past the meridian from my place, so so it's quite difficult. I think, yeah.
The moon should be passing in a couple of weeks.
Nope.
Speaking of the moon, David, do you want to try and get the moon tonight? You get another view of. Let's go. Well, not view of your view. One last look at Jupiter in your view, and then we'll get the moon. Or did you already start moving it?
Oh,
there we go.
I've got one of the moons centered there too. I believe that's Io. Kind of flashing in and out. I purposely boosted the contrast way down.
Okay, yeah.
It looks cruddy, but you can see the moon in there.
Cool. I'll go to Jane's view, and we can. Yeah, you can definitely see Europa moving across the planet. Look at that. It's sort of chasing the gray-red spot.
Yeah, this is the first time I've ever actually seen this before, so it's pretty fascinating.
We'll get a shadow too, right?
Oh, that is a shadow you're seeing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The moons themselves are sometimes a little harder to see because it depends on where they're crossing the planet. If it's the same color as the moon, it's really hard.
Eric Charlin says, I spotted Venus this week just before going in for work. It was so bright. Yeah, Venus is just amazing in the morning sky now. It's just super bright.
It's just past maximum brilliancy for this year. So.
My cat is going crazy. Right. Look at that.
I want to do a quick shout out to one of my friends, Katie Mack, one of the astronomers that's down in Australia, but she's tweeting as Real Scientist right now and is promoting our show. So, hi everyone
Katie.
from Twitter. Hey Katie, thank you.
Hi, Katie.
Phenomenal.
Oh, Mike, you got the Bernard's Loop.
Well, that's the whole thing. I'm totally cheating. This is completely cheating. It's not live.
I love that you feel shame about this, though. This is perfect. This is.
I do.
You've come into this really, really well. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't want people to realize I'm faking here.
Yep.
But yeah, that's Orion. That's what I was talking about. So I thought it'd be interesting because a lot of times at star parties, you want to put it in context. People are always saying like, at the 60-inch Mount Wilson when we use that for outreach, people say, "Oh, can you show us Horsehead Nebula?" Well, it's really faint. It's this little thing right down here, and the contrast is very poor. But this is that whole area. The flame and the Horsehead are right here, and here's the belt, see, and the Orion Nebula, and this is the whole thing. So that area is just full of good stuff.
Yeah.
Well, and I remember, Mike, that you and I talked a little over a year ago, but we should totally try to get up there with Mount Wilson and try to see if we can stream some from the 60-inch, get a small star party going on up there.
Yeah, I can.
Oh my!
Yeah, that would be something, wouldn't it?
I don't think they'll let us use the 100, but the 60 would be fun.
Correction. 100-inch has got a new eyepiece located where you don't have to risk your life in order to.
Oh come on! I totally want to sit at the prime focus and just hang out.
That's definitely
for dear life.
Well, we'll go to Gary's view because he's got the actual Orion Nebula
that
itself.
would be so cool.
Yeah, 60-inch telescope with the virtual star party. That would also be a first, I think. So let's make that happen.
I can do that.
Done. This is so
Let's
great.
do it, Mike. I'll shoot you an email later. I've got your card somewhere.
Yeah, do that. And I mentioned, by the way, I mean, Shahrin's got fantastic solar views here. I think his scene is good, and he's really good. But during Global Astronomy Month, I'll talk about later, I'm going to do a live webcast from one of the solar telescopes that are set up.
Oh, wow.
Showing the spectrograph and stuff. So, yeah, we should totally do that.
Cool Orion Nebula.
Yeah, this is the moon's affecting it a little bit. Normally I get more wispy around here, and the bright area. You see this? This is an artifact of the camera. If you look at the stars, how they're streaking, they're too bright, so it smears a little bit.
So is it almost like you did too long of an exposure?
Yeah, and that is a 60-second exposure bin 4x4. If I do a less of an exposure, we don't get this around in here.
Yeah.
That's an artifact of the CCD arrays. It's called blooming.
Yep.
And it just spills and goes in one line. So when you see that, just saturated.
In fact, I've got another one here. Let me see.
That is fantastic.
That's awesome.
Cigar Box asked a question about the sun. Why are the sunspots in a line?
Yeah, great question.
The groups, the groups themselves are related to each other. They sort of form at the same time, but sunspots tend to form at the same latitude on the sun. So throughout the cycle, you see them at different levels, and they form at that particular latitude, come and go. So
we gotta say later in the cycle, they move more toward the equator of the sun. Yeah, that's when the new cycle starts. They're at higher latitudes. So.
Oh, okay. So they start closer to the poles, and then over the 7-year period, they start moving towards into the equator.
It actually forms a kind of butterfly diagram known as a spore diagram.
Right.
There's a rule called Spore's law that it's one of the signs when the new solar cycle starts that you start seeing high latitude sunspots. Then they start moving down toward the now why it's something to do with the decline layer, like the conveyor belt of the sun there in the interior. They don't completely understand it, but they know that that's one of the things that happens during the solar cycle.
Ronald Lynch reminds us, when's the lunar eclipse going to happen? It's not
April
long
15th.
now. April 15th.
U.S. Tax Day.
This is going to be a good one. So
we have something to look forward to on Tax Day here.
Yeah, this is going to be a lunar eclipse visible from North America. Where else?
I don't think that's a Sunday. I think I looked ahead and said, I wonder if that's during the VSP, but it's not on Sunday. I don't think it
I'm
is.
sure we'll be broadcasting it live, though. So whoever wants to participate, we'll try and get that live.
If you do, that's during Global Astronomy Month, and we're mentioning it. Scott, we ought to talk about that too. We'll make it a GAM program.
All right.
Well, I typically do something at our campus at Citrus. I'll set up some 6-inch, and I'll bring and we have all sorts of white light filters we put up on there, so we could definitely team up and try to get something going. That's where we first did our first big solar.
Yeah, I know.
Was on my campus.
Patrick Calhoun asks, what kind of telescope are you using on Jupiter? So, what's your telescope, James?
My telescope is a Nexstar 6SE Celestron telescope. It's an alt-azimuth mount. It's not very expensive or fancy. The only thing I'm really doing to kind of cheat here is I have a 5X Barlow made by Teleview and a Canon 6D, so that gives me a lot of pixels to deal with, so I can digitally zoom in on it without having to use my 5X and 2X Barlow, which I've done before.
There you go.
Wow.
And then David, your telescope is an 8-inch.
Yeah, and you can see it right here. It's Celestron 8-inch, and it's you can actually see the corrector plate covered with dew right now. So.
And you're drying its hair.
Yes, I am.
Style.
I'm actually moving over to the moon right now. So.
I've never heard that sound before. What is that?
Oh, you've heard the hairdryer?
Yeah, I don't know what that thing is.
Yeah.
I have one of those in the house.
That's the slew motor going into turbo mode.
That's this. This is the hairdryer my wife allows me to use for this.
So did you say that I was fighting crime in Canada last week, Scott? Is that what
I would never say anything like that.
Really?
Yeah, well, I just figured it would be such a short trip of going and fighting crime over in Vancouver Island, of all the crazy crime you guys have over there.
all the crazy crime, so I really had to be fighting crime in Canada.
Someone was littering by the sailboat, eh? I better go pick it up.
Your Canadian accent is adorable.
Thank you.
Somebody's stealing the toques.
This is great. We can watch. So let's run through the telescopes while we're at it. So
yeah, let's take a look at what we have.
So Mike Phillips, what telescope do you have? Or has he's checked out?
No. I came back. I'm trying to find a new object here. I have a 14-inch Newtonian. That's f4.5. And
so what do you mean by f4.5 to our viewers that have no idea what you're talking about?
So when you talk about telescopes, there's different size telescopes, which is the amount of light they can collect based upon how big the lens of the mirror is. And then there's a ratio of that size of the mirror or the lens to the actual focus point. So a long focal length usually magnifies more, and a short focal length usually gives you a wider field of view and more bright stars. Most Newtonians are fairly low number focal ratios, and then most Schmidts are fairly high. So like if I was going to do planetary, I also have to use the 5x power mate. So the deep sky stuff that I'm doing now, or the near Earth asteroid hunting, I'm doing with strictly just the native focal length.
Oh, awesome.
And Roy's got his first image, and tell us your telescope.
Oh, this is a terrible image, by the way.
Hey, it's pretty.
My seeing just sucks tonight. Every time I get to an image, by the time I get it, it's out of focus. So that's M81. The telescope this was done with was an 8-inch RC, or a 10-inch RC telescope, which is about a 2,000. The 10-inch is about a 2,000 millimeter focal length. I also have a 106 millimeter refractor that I should have actually been using instead of this one, because this one's giving me headaches.
Yeah? Is it easy for you to switch to the other one, or you gotta like?
No, it's real easy to switch over.
Okay, all right.
I might actually do that, because this one's just not working out for me.
Do what you need to do, and then we can see the other telescope, which would be great.
Yeah, I'll do an M81 with that one.
All right, so Gary's got a view of his telescope.
Yeah, this is a 14-inch Celestron that have the camera mounted up in the front here, so I'm about a 700 millimeter focal length, which gives me a view that's just about 1.5 degrees by 1 degree.
Make it dance. I want to see it dance.
Just what?
He's probably taking the picture right now.
You got to shoot at it. Like, come on, dance.
You want it to move? I can do it.
Yeah,
I can do that.
I am such a kid with this, but I love watching the telescopes being able to slew live. There we go.
That's how you know it's live. See? Look at it go.
Is this live?
It's breakdancing.
Let's hope not.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Dave Duthet wants to know, can we see the supernova in M82?
Done it.
I've been there. Is it still in the sky, or is it faded away now?
It should be still there.
Yeah.
I think
Probably
it's
a little
still
dimmer.
around 11th magnitude, I think.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to go to Dave's view of this stupid moon.
Kind of turbulent there. I'm right along the terminator, like waning gibbous now, just past full Friday night. We actually had a full Valentine's Day moon on Friday. I did a little sleuthing, and the last time that actually happened was in 1968. The last time we had a full moon on Valentine's Day. One of the weird things.
Was when?
1968 was the last time the full moon fell on February 14th. Wow. Which is kind of weird. Yeah, I wouldn't have thought it would have been that far back. I would have guessed maybe one Saros cycle back, maybe like around 18 or 19 years ago. Actually, that was...
Can you slew around a little bit?
Yeah. I can. Kind of hard when I'm zoomed in to tell where I'm aimed, and plus you don't get a lot of contrast. Yeah, there's the lunar happenings.
Someone asked earlier what your camera was, David.
Oh, I have it's a Logitech C2070, and I bought it for $20 at Walmart. It's not optimized for astronomy by any means. It's just one I modified. I did a whole blog post on computers today. I just took and modified it to fit into the eyepiece holder.
Yeah.
Took the lens off.
Did you let the dog out?
Yeah, so you got a dog
That's the
there?
neighbor's. Yeah, that's the neighbor's dog's out.
I want to share this real quick. Helen Reed, she showed us this a little while ago, but I still love it. So we are. So Fraser was fighting crime, but it was in Vermont because the VSP solved 3 county burglary spree. It's Vermont State Police, but I mean, come on.
We helped.
Yeah. No. So when we're not not discovering supernovae, we're also fighting crime in the east coast of the U.S.
I'm going to move to Gary's view.
This is Thor's helmet. First time I've done it in color. This deserves a longer exposure.
Yeah.
But it's coming out. You can see the red and the blues or the oxygens. There's even a little background's a little green, but with a longer exposure, this thing looks great. That's a 1 minute with each filter.
Hey
That's
guys,
still pretty good.
on the top right of my image, that looks like there's a moon.
I see it.
I'm not really sure. which one
Another
that is.
moon?
Yeah.
Oh my!
Let me brighten it up a little bit more.
Is that did Europa pop out the other side?
Right?
I think Europa's coming out. Yeah, so you can see it casting shadow back. That's the moon itself there. Yes.
That's awesome.
Well, that's how
pretty
fast it moves, right? I mean, it was more towards the middle at the start of the party, and now look, it's way over off to the
Either
side.
that or we
This
get
is
an eruption.
crazy.
Or an
Well,
impact.
isn't that the shadow still a little less than halfway across? And that's Europa off the edge.
Yeah.
That's
So the sun
amazing.
is off to the side. If it's at opposition, they're more lined up, but
Right.
you don't get
Yeah, we're
that.
heading toward quadrature, so it's off to the side now.
Yeah. So Europa was there the whole time, and it's just harder to see.
It was with us all along.
Well, it was behind Jupiter, I think. I'm not really sure. No, it was in front.
In front, yeah.
casting shadow.
Yeah.
It's actually very difficult to see most of the moons. Ganymede's about the only one that's fairly obvious, but the smaller moons are very hard to see, especially live.
Either that or that's an impact plume.
From the near Earth asteroid.
Yeah, I just had to point it out because I don't want anything
excellent.
else in the virtual star party.
Well, are you recording any video when you're doing this, James?
I thought about it, and to press any buttons on my camera would be to mess up my telescope. So.
Oh, would it? Okay.
Don't want that.
No, we can't have that.
Mostly with the alt-azimuth mount, it's a very sensitive beast.
Don't we all know?
Oh, that's good.
I found a M67. Somebody tell me what kind of cluster that is. I thought that was a nice, evenly distributed one.
We're just seeing a picture of you.
Oh, you don't see the... Oh.
Oh, that's cool. So
Phillips
Brian
cluster.
Simpson is noting you can see the Jupiter moon configuration by typing Jupiter into Wolfram Alpha.
Nice.
Yeah, I love Wolfram Alpha. For, the videos that I'm doing on YouTube, I use Wolfram Alpha all the time for all kinds of things, where I'm like doing calculations, like how many stars in the Milky Way divided by the average density of space, and you can just type this stuff right into Wolfram Alpha. It's just awesome.
Do you see it now?
No, we see the
just you.
Phillips cluster.
The Phillips cluster.
Yeah.
Oh,
It looks like is that a double? Yeah, you and a
yeah,
dwarf Phillips.
that's exactly what it is.
Greater and lesser Phillips.
My son, who everyone calls Mini Me.
There you go.
I'm going to move to Gary's view while you...
This is our requested NGC 2169.
Wait a second. Wait a minute. I see it.
That's our 37.
Yeah, that's our 37.
30.
Can you rotate it, Gary?
Yeah. I zoomed in quite a bit because it's a fairly small asterism. But yeah, 3 and a 7.
Yeah.
And we're just in time for SIO.
There's my full frame view.
Right. Yeah, so do a rotate and then more people will see it. But if you don't see it yet, this asterism, thanks Jamie, this is awesome. It's 2169, and it is the 37 cluster.
Damn, the 37 cluster.
So
Yeah, that a little easier.
there it is.
Go. Yep. So yeah, this is what we tease Nicole about quite often.
I wish it said 42.
There we go.
Yeah, wouldn't it be
would be
great if it said
excellent.
42?
Yeah, I don't
Yes.
think there's any sort of cluster named 42 that I'm aware of.
No, that would just be too much.
That
I'm
would-
sure if you. Jason Carlisle says, "Do you guys have your own astronomy community on Google Plus or website? What is the best way to follow you guys?" Scott, what do you recommend?
Well, we have the space community, but it's kind of like the Wild West right now. So let's see. I would say the best community for really engaging with this sort of thing would be the Science and Google Plus community. There's a lot of discussion on actual, astronomy as a science.
No, but specifically the Virtual Star Party.
For the Virtual Star Party, we have a page on Google Plus. So if you just look at Virtual Star Party on Google Plus, we are there, and it's where we have all of our events each week. And we like to. I might do another. The word I can't think of when I made the photo contest. I might do another photo contest coming up here.
Yeah, so we post the event every week, a couple of days before we actually do the event, and so if you click yes on the event, then you'll get a notification when it's about to happen, and then you just click on. It'll take you to the page, and you'll be able to watch the show. We also post it. We'll mention it on Twitter. If you follow the _VSP on Twitter. If you follow Universe Today, we post it on Twitter there. I post it to the homepage of Universe Today when we start. So I know it's kind of tough to follow where it's happening, but we try to kind of get it out as many places as we can.
And so this is just our home screen right here. And we post everything up as far as what's going on, where you can RSVP and share out the event, let everyone know that you're going to be here, because we love having new guests and having new viewers. So please come join us and circle us, and and also big thank you right here actually is that Huffington Post yesterday went and made an article about why Google Plus isn't as terrifying as everyone thinks it is, and they used us and actually embedded one of our episodes into that article on why Google Plus is awesome. And I have to agree, Virtual Star Party is a big reason why Google Plus is awesome. It's actually what really brought me in to using the platform as much as I do now.
Yep.
And so a big shout out to HuffPo. Thanks a lot for that.
And to Matthew Rappaport.
Matthew Rappaport, our friends at HuffPo. Matthew Rappaport.
Yep, right in the article. Oh, this is great, David. Beautiful view.
Ooh.
Yeah, I like that just whole moon.
Always like to point out Mare Crisium at the very bottom of David's image there. That's about 300 miles across. It's about the same size as my home state of Oregon. Give you an idea how big the moon is.
And if people always want to know where the Apollo 11 landing is, and you can kind of see the spot right now, which is down near the bottom. You see those two circles side by side, and the Apollo landing site is sort of down on the left one of those circles, sort of down on the left-hand side of it.
Yep.
But I can't give you more detail. Because it didn't really happen, obviously.
Yeah, but the lander and everything like that is super, super tiny compared to the rest of the moon there. So there's no way from Earth anybody can see that.
Well, people always want to ask, like, can you see the Apollo 11 landing site with the Hubble Space Telescope? And you just can't.
The flag.
You can, but the NASA's Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter has been orbiting the moon and has captured amazing pictures of the surface of the moon. You can see like footprints and the flags and all of the debris and the leftover rovers and everything. It's amazing.
And I guess technically you would be able to see the astronaut poop somewhere on the moon too.
Because they left it in bags on the surface of the moon, right? No one needs to take that. Yeah, nobody needs to take that back to Earth.
Yeah, why not?
There's plutonium.
When you have
there's plutonium up there in the RTGs too, and
Oh,
And they
wow.
also
Oh, that's right. I forgot. Yes.
I mean, would you rather have 2 kilos of excrement or 2 kilos of moon rock? What do I want to bring with me?
So Shaw, is this is live? No, this is a couple
no,
days ago.
it was like 2 days ago. I couldn't get Venus in the view just now, so this is the best I can do now. It's pretty thick at the moment, quite big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got a request for NGC 6826. Gary, I don't know if you can take a crack at that.
Let's see, 6826.
Yeah, from Michael Jobin, our good friend Michael Jobin.
Caldwell 15. And please do, because it's a planetary nebula, and I love planetary nebula.
Might be a little small for his.
Yeah, you're not going to get it.
Oh, yeah, it's gonna be
It's
tiny.
only about 1 degree above the horizon.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So probably not.
Probably not.
Here's one, and also Michael. I don't know if that's the same thing. The Lemon Slice Nebula. I've never even heard of
No,
that.
I haven't heard of that one.
I never heard of that.
I learned all
Cool, I
these
figured out
things.
how to access these.
I don't know, it sounds like it's going to leave a bad taste in our mouth.
I learned all these things like 30, 40 years ago when they only had numbers. And
Brian
I had
Simpson
no idea what
asks,
this
"Is it safe to put a hairdryer that close to the corrector plate?" David,
I have it on the
Wildman
lowest.
Dickinson.
I have it on the lowest setting. You know, there was an article in the Cain Telescope talking about the pros and cons of doing that, and I don't usually do it when I'm observing. I usually have a dew shield I put on the front, but usually the dew here in Florida, dew is so pervasive it's going to win eventually. I do it during the show because it cleans it quick. I need it to clean it within like 30 seconds. I can't really wait.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah,
it won't
typically-
break it. It'll cause more distortion, but.
Yeah, here's a good tip. This is what I do because I live in Alabama, which the dew is horrendous, and you can actually get a desktop computer fan controller and use that as a power supply, and to make your own dew strips. Maybe for about $100.
Yeah, I've seen people do that. I've seen
And
people make
it
their-
works fantastic for me.
Yeah, make their own. You can get the whole dew control system, but I'm too cheap to.
Yeah, it's way too expensive to buy it already done.
Oh,
But if you make it yourself and you have a little time on your hands, you can make it within like 20 minutes just with the soldering iron.
So we've lost that. Oh, I can see that moon in James View still, just at the top. We're gonna lose it, though.
there it is.
There we go. Yep.
Yep.
Winks
That's
in and out.
fantastic. Yeah, but we're gonna lose it. As it moves further away from the planet. Awesome. Well, I'm gonna go back to David's view of the moon because it's just pretty.
I should be able to bring the total lunar eclipse with this setup here. It seems to be. It gives a good full-size frame of the moon.
Yeah. No, this is.
Yeah.
I like the full view of the moon.
Yeah, this is just with the life cam unmodified, just aimed at the eyepiece. I have a 42mm eyepiece in the telescope in an adapter bracket, so the cam can hook onto the telescope, and it's really kind of simple.
I don't think I'll destroy the moon this time, though.
Do it.
Don't
time.
destroy it. There'll be
Destroy
no
it.
eclipses.
Oh yeah, that's
like
my
the
favorite
eclipses.
event. I'm torn now. All right, I'm gonna move back to Shaw's view of the sun because awesome.
And the request for 6826, it's too small and too close to the horizon for me.
Okay.
It's a small planetary.
So Michael Jobin suggested NGC 3242,
Take a look.
and
got a little
also the
galaxy.
Elephant Trunk Nebula.
I grabbed NGC 2903, which is a nice little barred spiral if my sharing is working properly this time.
It
is
is
not.
No.
Still,
not?
the lesser and greater.
What?
Oh,
Can you try and you cut it? There we. Try cutting
I
out
shut it off, and then I turned it back on. I did this a few times, and it's not going back to a camera because I don't have my camera drivers installed. So I don't know, maybe if that's what it is. What do you see now? Just the two of us again?
Still you. You might want to try like reloading your access to the Hangout.
So we're looking at that. I'm going to look at some
Yeah.
of our submissions into the event. So, and like always, please, if you do astrophotography yourself and not able to join us here live, please share with us your photos that you've taken. Everyone can go and find space porn, but if you can actually go and do your own astrophotography or use systems like iTelescope and stuff like that, please let us know. So this is from Chandra Devgun. I hope I didn't slaughter your name, and I probably did. But this is something we looked at a little earlier tonight. But this is from the iTelescope.
Chandra Devgun.
Yeah.
Nice.
Hi, CD.
Oh, look at that Horsehead.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's really important to note the difference, right? That what we're doing is we're live. This is just fast and furious, trying to pull pictures up as quickly as we can and just get you just the gist of what astronomy is all about. But if you've got the time and access to, for example, the iTelescope, they're like what, 20-inch telescopes?
They're plane waves.
Really dark sky locations. Then this is the kind of stuff you can do. This is just phenomenal.
And so this is something that we looked at earlier with Gary, but like you just mentioned, Gary is doing a bunch of 1-minute exposures, but seeing the work that Gary's done for very long periods, I mean, Gary, you're a champ. I love your work, especially when you do very long sets of exposure. So if you guys have not circled Gary, take a look at his photography. Please do. Gary's got some awesome stuff out there and especially he's in Los Angeles County. You're in LA County, or are you still over in San Bernardino? Gary's silent.
He's muted.
He's on the border of LA County, but really bad skies. But being able to use
Yeah, I'm in San Bernardino County, just a few miles from LA.
But with the really bad light pollution, you can really pull off some really good stuff if you have the right tools. And that's
have you switched your picture, Roy?
Yep.
All right, let's take a look. This is with the refractor.
Yep.
Oh, you can
nice.
pull out the dust lanes. Yeah.
And this was what, M81?
That's M81, 2 minutes in luminance.
Looks good. Yeah, I can really see the swirling nebulosity on this. It's great.
Yeah.
I like refractors much better. I need to switch my camera over this because I got the good camera on the 10-inch. I got my QHY on this one, and I need to swap them.
You don't just want to do that right now?
Yeah, let me drive out there.
Roy, this is the ongoing joke, is that Roy has a secret facility in the Arizona desert. And so it's what? It's about a 2-hour drive for you to get out to your telescope?
2 hours.
Yeah.
2 hours, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And so he controls the whole thing. I don't know if you can switch to your exterior cam at some point. We can see what your facility looks like.
He controls Skynet.
Yeah. So when the war happens, that's where he's going to be, observing the night sky.
Well, here I'll switch over to a page real quick that has my security cameras on it.
Yeah. It's like half observatory, half compound. Survivalist compound.
Are you a doomsday prepper, Roy?
Oh, there we go.
He's prepping for dark skies. When the zombies invade, they will be the darkest skies we've ever seen.
And won't be able to see them. The NGC 3242 is not up for me.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to shoot for Elephant Trunk.
Okay.
Looking at Jupiter, here is one from Jason Higley.
When did Jason take this picture? Because it's like what we're seeing.
He took this a few minutes ago from his drive.
Yeah.
Why is he not in the virtual star party?
That's a great question. Jason, ping me or send me an email in there. My email's in my profile. But see, the black spot's a shadow transit happening right now.
You can see Europa there on the side.
And the great red spot.
Yep.
Wow, what a night!
He's shooting with an 8-focal Canon power shot, 6-inch telescope.
Wow, that's great for a 6-inch.
Yeah, with a Canon power shot connected to a 6-inch telescope.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like what? That's about a $400 setup. Between telescope and camera, maybe $500. That's great.
That's dirt cheap.
Yeah, so it's not that expensive to get into this hobby. And look at that. That's a beautiful, beautiful picture. This
is my face again. Let me put that back.
Look at that picture of Scott. Beautiful, beautiful.
I'm a pretty man.
I'm Scott.
Do you have any more pictures, Scott, to show?
I will. Let me pull some up here in a second. But
right.
this is exactly it. So, Jason, we choose you to be in the virtual star party.
If you can take a picture from your driveway and post it to our page, then all the pieces are there.
Yep.
That's cool. He caught the moon while it was still on the distant Jupiter.
Yeah.
That's
that's
unusual to
awesome.
see that.
I don't know how well this is going to turn out, Fraser, but I'm trying one of the an actual true color image of M42.
Whoa, I'm going to Gary's picture first.
This is a piece of the California Nebula. It's just a little bit less than half of it. It continues on in that streak.
Yeah. Very nice.
Phenomenal.
Now, Gary, do you have your app up that shows your point of view, or your field of view with the rest of the sky to give some context of how big this actually is?
Yes. Let me bring that up. And elephant trunk is too low to the horizon for me. I can't get it.
Michael.
So let's see.
Check your stellarium and spot these objects. In fact, Michael, I choose you to help us start finding objects to find every week. So.
When did the Star Party turn into Pokemon?
I choose you, Pikachu.
Collect them all. We make them fight.
Yeah.
Oh.
Somebody have the power on to get one of the planetaries in Gemini, 2392 or
I was just looking at that.
All right. So Roy, you're going to try and put on a show?
Right. It'd be something that isn't red.
Is my sharing working? I can try.
No, but if it's not working, can you throw them up into the event page? And
That's tiny.
Sure.
Yeah.
There we go.
Right. Okay.
So this is what Gary's looking at. I love it.
Yeah. California Nebula.
Yeah, that's my field of view. The orientation's flipped, but you can see the dark spot in here. The dark spot in here shows up on the main picture. Let me switch back to it, and you can see the picture. So I'm really getting about 3/4 of it.
Yeah.
That's San Francisco Bay, isn't it?
Yeah. That would be about it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's disturbingly similar to California. All of the features are there. It's crazy.
And I see so many Starbucks. Wow.
And
out in the ocean too.
You can see the light pollution in Los Angeles too.
Yeah.
For a reference of the size, here's my entire sky.
Hey, that's my sky too.
Yeah. No, it's mine. I bought it. You have to pay me.
I have this certificate from a website.
All right. Well, you know what? Actually,
Okay, here's
that's pretty much the end of our hour. I hate to do this, but we need to start wrapping
there's
this
my
up.
view.
There we go.
Oh, that's beautiful.
I think we done good.
We did great. Yeah, look at that. We had a full crowd. We had lots of telescopes going. It was awesome. So and thanks to all the people who posted pictures as well. That's just terrific. And all the great comments. Good night.
Whoa.
So I'm going to thank everyone in turn. David Dickinson, thank you so much.
Thanks.
That view of the moon was
cool.
terrific. That's great.
That was very cool. It's a nice night out.
Yeah. Gary Gonella, thanks as always.
You're very, very welcome. It's my pleasure.
James McGee, good job on getting the moon and the red spot and the shadow. That is like 3 firsts in one night. You're muted, by the way.
Hi, I'm
Hello.
James McGee. I'm James McGee. That was so cool. Somebody has their hand up my butt.
Go ahead, James.
It was a really cool time streaming. It was really cool. Howdy-ho, guys.
Wow.
Good night,
I'm a
Gracie.
bad influence on everybody in this show.
Gary's just shaking his head, man.
Michael Phillips, sorry we can't see any more views of your telescope. Just you and your miniature version of yourself.
Yes, yeah. One more thing to fix. I added the M67 and NGC 2903 to the event page. So you
Okay,
can
great.
see those afterwards. And and I'll hit the NEO probably sometime tomorrow and make a nice little animation or something
Terrific.
out of it.
was very cool.
Cool. Mike Simmons, and plug while you're here. Plug away.
Astronomers Borders. I'm too zoomed out. I'm wearing the T-shirt. Astronomers.org. We're going to have some announcements about Global Astronomy Month coming up. That's in April. So maybe I'll get on Space Hangout next week and talk about that.
Sure, that'd be great. Yeah. And we'd love to participate. So, and I say volunteering all of the astronomers. We would love to.
Yes.
Scott,
our minions. We will give them to. We will contribute them to your cause.
Yeah.
As I said before, you will be assimilated.
We're hand-picked volunteers.
Well, Roy, if you can post that, can you make that picture bigger before we say goodbye to you?
Yes, I'm downloading it right now.
Well, then I'll come back to you.
Me in 20 seconds.
All right. Okay. Shaw, thanks for staying up so late. What time is it there? What, noon?
It's all, about half an hour to noon.
Yeah, perfect.
Oh my goodness.
You're a real trooper.
He really is.
He is, boy.
He gets up in the morning, has a coffee, and then finds his way to the telescope and, works late into the afternoon. So, Tom Nathe, you need to clean up the desk, I think. Look at that shelf behind you. That's something.
Oh, I got to clean that up one of these years.
It just adds texture to your background. You're actually in front of a blue screen. You actually have created that digitally.
I ought to put up my 2001 poster in behind there. That would work perfect.
All right.
My wife actually came in and cleaned up my background just for things like this.
Really? Oh.
Yeah. Remodeled.
Well, I'm single, so that's why.
I'll send her over. Fix you later.
Oh,
right.
pretty please.
Okay, now Scott, let's tell people things to do. Let's give them marching orders before they leave us this week. So they should follow
on Twitter _VSP.
Yep.
Circle us on Google Plus for Virtual Star Party. If you really hate yourself, we are on Facebook. We are there. I do try to update it as much as I can. I don't go there that often, but I do try to keep that updated. Yeah. But those are the big three places to find us there. Subscribe to both Fraser's and my channel, because we both go back and forth on hosting the Virtual Star Party. So subscribe to our channels on YouTube, because we love doing this and on the fly. So if we're doing stuff, every once in a while we'll have something just awesome happen with some of our astronomers, and we'll just do an impromptu Virtual Star Party. So if you subscribe to us, we will try to let everyone know what's going on with that.
Awesome. All right, and so the next thing that we're going to be doing as part of the kind of CosmoQuest community, we'll be doing Astronomy Cast tomorrow at 12 noon, and I forget the topic. I think it's the photoelectric effect. So we'll be doing that tomorrow at noon, and then, of course, the Weekly Space Hangout on Friday at noon as well. So, hey, thanks everyone for watching. We really appreciate your support. Thanks for posting your pictures. Thank you to all of the astronomers.
Coming out on Wednesday. So I have a mini doc coming out on Wednesday for Kepler's New Universe. It's called, on a Deep Astronomy channel with Tony Darnell, and we have Spaceman News that's also coming out on Friday. So full week of awesome space and astronomy content for you to consume and devour.
And we will see you all next week. We'll end the show with Roy's beautiful view of the Orion Nebula.
And don't forget, go out and fight crime.
Have you
go out and fight crime.
Roy, is your hydrogen alpha mapped as green?
No, my green is mapped as blue.
Okay. Are you shooting? You're shooting tricolor. You're not shooting narrowband, are you?
Yeah, that's the actual tricolor, red, green, and blue, and I have them swapped.
Okay, then that makes sense.
We're gonna puzzle this out for a week.
I think
where the
that's
Green
really
Lantern
creative.
comes from.
It's algae scum.
We'll see everyone later.
Bye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Everybody.
Ahmad, hey Shah.
Hey.
In Malaysia. And how's your volcano doing?
Oh, my volcano? Everything seems to be blowing away.
Wait, it's your volcano, Shaw?
No, that's not mine. It seems to be okay. Seems to be okay now.
How far away is it from you?
The one in Sumatra was about 200 kilometers away to the west of Peninsula Malaysia.
Wow.
So it's blowing away to the Indian Ocean at the moment.
So ash
Yeah.
isn't coming your way.
No, not at the moment.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah.
We got Tom Nathe. Hey, Tom.
Howdy.
It's in soggy Portland, Oregon. Yeah. Yeah, and we've got soggy Vancouver Island. It's the
Yeah,
it's
we got the monsoons coming in.
Yeah, it's the season for it. So, all right. Well, so before we get on with the space stuff, I just want to remind everyone that they can interact with us. It's allowed. We permit it. In fact, we encourage it, and we'll even take requests if we can. So the best way to do that, I've enabled Q&A app on this Hangout, so you should see that anywhere you are. If you're on YouTube, you should just see it says Fraser Cain is interacting with the audience or something like that. So you can just go ahead and click on that, and then you can see all the questions that people have asked, and you can still see the video and and vote up questions.
Hey, it's yellow.
We're live. It's
Hi,
happened. Hey everyone. My name is Fraser Cain. I am the publisher of Universe Today, and this is your virtual star party for
16th of February,
16th of February
2014.
2014. I apologize. I'm fried. My garage just flooded, and I've been spending the day. Yeah, it's sort of getting all the water back out. Yeah, my drain, and my driveway flooded over, and water.
I didn't know. I mean, I know you like sailing, but I didn't realize you
yeah,
DIY sailor.
Yeah, exactly. Bring it right into my garage and float the boat right out my garage. That's the plan. So anyway, not bad. I was really lucky and sort of got it all under control. But yeah. So anyway, I've been working all afternoon. Anyway, enough about me. Let's talk about space. So who have we got joining us tonight? We got Dave Dickinson, a.k.a. the Astro Guy.
With a Z.
Thanks for not letting me go live with that.
Exactly.
Ready to do battle. You're ready.
We got Gary Gonella. Hey, Gary.
Hi, guys.
Hey, James McGee. Hey, James. Evil
Hello.
James McGee.
Yes. How is fighting crime in Canada, by the way, Fraser?
We got Mike Phillips. We got, or at least the computer simulation of Mike Phillips.
Yes, my camera stopped working, but everything else seems to be in order here.
Well,
so
all you have to do
lost to
is
the
you
stars.
just have to go on to YouTube, do a search for the Virtual Star Party, and you see this great video all about Michael and his wonderful telescope.
Yes, but you didn't come to see me, did you? Let's look at the stars.
Let's move the stars. We got Mike Simmons from Astronomers Without Borders. Hey, Mike.
You're muted, Mike. There
Unmuted.
you go.
He's muted, Mike.
Frequently.
We got Roy Salisbury. Hello, Roy.
Hello.
We've got my co-host, Scott Lewis, with a brand new Twitter handle.
With a brand new Twitter handle. I am no longer Bald Astronomer. I've been toiling over that for a long time. It was a joke, like 2 years
I know,
ago.
I know.
I was going to be on Twitter all that much, but it's grown and I need to let it go. So I'm now Scientific Scott for all my science outreach efforts.
Perfect. Follow Scott on Twitter at Scientific Scott. Now, if they were already following Bald Astronomer, they'll have
It's
at
already
Scientific
switched.
Scott.
Yep, I just switched it over. So all my previous followers still there. I'm still following everyone else, but I'll take more. I talk a lot.
All right.
And 140 characters or less.
We got the Horsehead Nebula. What is it? Oh, he's muted.
Uh-oh.
Oh, you talking to this mic?
Yeah.
Sorry, I was playing with things here.
The Horsehead Nebula knows no borders.
No, that's true. Is that what we're looking at with Gary?
That's what we're looking at right now
with
with Gary's view.
Horsehead Nebula on the left there, I think it's called the Flame Nebula. There's just stuff all through this area. You know, look at the wide-angle images, especially in H-alpha, and you just see stuff. It's just spacey. There's a lot of H-alpha stuff in there, a lot of hydrogen.
Now, does anyone know if there's any connection between Analtech and the nebula itself? Like, did Analtech form from that nebula?
I don't think so.
No, I think Ameltech is in front of it.
Yeah, I believe it's far in front of it.
Oh, okay.
From our perspective.
Yeah, and there's a star. Reason why it's backlit like that, there's a star in behind the Horsehead that's illuminating, much like a silhouette.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
The gas is actually fluorescing. It's a little more like a fluorescent light bulb. So
Right, yeah,
that's what
yeah,
gets
that's
those
better way.
colors there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool. Okay, so
Excellent.
now
Yeah,
we've
that's
got
been a ways
another tree questions and yeah.
And stuff and things.
And what?
And stuff and things.
And
Let's
stuff
see,
and
we're,
things.
we're also
Yeah.
we're also on Twitter at @the_VSP. We have two event page, one on our official channel for virtual star parties and one on Fraser. So I'm trying to monitor all of those. And yeah, it is up on Facebook if you really don't like yourself.
If you really don't like yourself, it's on Facebook.
If you hate science,
If you
use
hate
Facebook.
science and kittens, it's on
if you hate
Facebook.
kittens,
Yeah.
you can go to Facebook.
If you hate intelligent conversations,
All right.
use Facebook.
And I might have created a GeoCities website for it. Just
Oh,
because.
good. Well, that's good. All right. All right, everyone, telescopes. All right, I'm going to start with Gary's view because it's awesome.
Okay.
That's my only criteria tonight.
We got the Horsehead here and the Flame Nebula, and this is Alnitek, which is the left-hand star in Orion's belt for positioning purposes.
Fantastic. That's it. That's all I got. Mike, come on. Have you got anything? Mike,